We're going to find the maximum and minimum y values of x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. I start by pressing the y equal key and then enter the function as x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. And then press graph. This is in the standard window, and it looks as if it'll be all right for us to find the maximum and minimum y values. First of all, let's try the trace. And as I move right and left, you'll notice that the cursor moves from the y-axis, both left and right. Little problem there because when I'm finding the maximum value, we're not going to be able to see the cursor. But let's look at the bottom of the screen and figure out what appears to be, in this view, the largest value of y. I think it comes out to be about 10.0567. When we go over to find the minimum, looks like 3.1600 is the smallest that we get. Now, these are estimates of the minimum and maximum value, but they are not as accurate as we can get if we use the calc function, which appears above the trace button. Before we use the calc button, I'm going to adjust the window. So I'm going to go over to window, and I'm going to go -5 to 5 for the x values, and -10 to 15 for the y values. Now when we graph it, the maximum and minimum are both well within the screen, and we should be able to see the cursor and the function as we continue to find the maximum as well as minimum. So to get the calc function, we're going to use second trace, and you'll notice that the maximum value, or the maximum function I should say, is associated with the number 4. So I'm going to press the number 4, and you'll see that it's asking for a left bound. As I move the cursor to the left, you'll see the points changing. I'm going to go to the left of the maximum value. I can stop anywhere now since I'm to the left of the maximum value, and I'll press enter, and that establishes our left bound. And notice that this little shaded triangle shows there to show that the interval on the x-axis that we're going to search now has a lower bound. It now is asking for a right bound, so we move the cursor to the right. The little triangle above has stayed put because we're now looking for a right bound. I think I've gone far enough, so I'll press enter. And so the x values between these two points are going to be searched to find the largest y value that occurs. And so it asks me for a guess of where that is going to occur, what x value, but instead of guessing, I'm just going to press enter. And you'll notice that the maximum x value has come up to be 10.0646, correct to 4 decimal places. And that's a little different from what we saw in the trace function. This is more precise. That maximum is occurring when x equals negative 1.8685, again accurate to 4 decimal places. We can repeat this process for the minimum value. Go second trace again. This time pressing the number 3, which corresponds to the minimum function. Again, I'm going to take my cursor over close to where the minimum y value is occurring. I'll choose that as the left bound. I'll move a little further to the right, maybe there for the right bound. Hit enter. Again, I'm going to let the calculator do the guessing, and so I press enter, and the minimum value, the more precise minimum value than what we saw with trace, is 3.1206 rounded to 4 decimal positions, and it occurs when x equals 0.5352 accurately represented to 4 decimal places. So I hope this will help. This ends our video.